Had.
Magic Johnson still has AIDS.
Had AIDS.
AIDS.
When you are rich, you can apparently get rid of.
Yeah, but once you've known you have AIDS, Magic Johnson, like Magic Johnson. Did I say Magic Johnson?
He's got a Magic Johnson,
AIDS.
though.
He has AIDS.
Oh, he doesn't anymore.
I'm pretty sure he does.
It's, according to the commercials I watch, it's now undetectable. Oh, welcome to In My DMs. I am Derek at Mr247LV. I think there's an envy at the end of that for the
there is
Twitter side.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on IG. And then Matt, our vanilla gorilla.
LV.
With a 0, with an LV. And
That
our boy
is a
Quan, whose IG doesn't go up there. You want to talk shit to Quan, he'll give you his IG maybe.
Oh, we're gonna talk shit to Quan.
Quan's gonna be a instrumental part of the show today because we're gonna lean into some of the sports stuff with the WNBA.
Some of the muggings of Caitlin Clark and
Sophie Cunningham.
Cunningham,
yeah. And Quan, our resident WNBA expert, so we will certainly pull him into the fold. But thank you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and share. Certainly help our algorithm. And before we get into the actual show, I want to ask you, Quan, if you will please pull up the YouTube post labeled, where'd it go? Fan shout out. Ball Brony had a exchange with one of our fans on YouTube, and I asked Ball Brony, what about the show do you love so much? And he said,
Matt?
probably the best.
Oh,
absolutely.
He
He says, I'm a 35-year-old fan and of the format of when there's someone who's super educated, you, and knowledgeable on a topic, while the other host is an idiot, somewhat knowledgeable, but learning through more genuine conversation, making it layman for the common folk, but without being phony. I really like the brotherhood and dynamic between you two, and your guests are never clout chasers, but genuine, knowledgeable people. You guys and Larry bring a smile to me every time I see y'all on screen. Shout out to our boy Larry.
Larry Bird.
It's on. It's just on.
Right.
But you know what? Fuck the whole show. I don't want to talk about anything except Magic Johnson's AIDS and Larry Bird's dad offing himself. Let's do it. Just get it out there.
Well, can I finish the shout out to
right,
Bob
fine.
Brody? Listening to you guys is like conversations you'll hear and have with your cooler, older cousins at a reunion.
Oh, he's talking about you, older.
Yes. I swear to God, I'd be the first person to sign up if y'all went to Patreon for extra content. I know that was long-winded, but thank you for asking me. And then down below, Quan. Shout out from Chicago to Quan.
Below, like hell.
Somebody knows you,
Like
knows
where you
the
go when
spelling of
you
your
die,
name, bro.
when you have AIDS.
Right, this is the Quan show today.
Yeah. Well, I thank you. I want to say thank you. What was his name again?
Ball Brody.
Son of a bitch. Ball Brony, thank you for taking the time to watch and point out that Derek is older and we have conversations.
Quan, is the 5'9" at the end of your name your height?
It's way too tall.
No. I'm 5'10".
That is 9 inches too tall for him.
It's actually the 59th book in the Bible, which is James.
Oh, so now you're
Larry Bird.
feeling Bill. This guy's texting me just so everyone understands why I'm over here sitting away. He's talking about how Larry Bird killed himself.
Larry Bird's dad.
Larry Bird's dad. But see, he's got me so frustrated now because I'm a Boston fan and he likes Magic Johnson and AIDS.
Well, we both like the Lakers, and I feel like Magic Johnson is my favorite player in history. So there you have it.
Anyways, Caitlin Clark.
Right. Let's talk about basketball that matters. The
Right.
WNBA.
Not guys that are on the runway of death.
So there's a lot happening with the WNBA in this last week. They are being challenged by male former first-round draft picks of claiming or declaring themselves eligible for the WNBA draft because the rules for the WNBA says as long as you identify as a woman, you are eligible.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. I've not read them myself, but other people smarter than me and people who care more about this issue have taken the time to. So we're just going to trust that they know what they're talking about.
Enes Kanter, former NBA player.
Yep.
I think he averaged, I posted his stats. I think he averaged like 12.5 and 7.5 rebounds for his career for 11 seasons. Respectable 6-man, 7-footer. He's one of the guys you're talking about. He's declared for the draft.
I think Enes's explanation is probably the best on video. Would you mind throwing that up, Juan?
careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA Draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally, consistently, and without exception. And I look forward to the WNBA honoring its stated principles. See you at
Very respectful.
Well, let's do the
Royce, not as
well,
respectful.
no, I love Royce, dude.
Well, Royce is running for U.S. Senate as well, right?
Yes, in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Yes, I'm a huge Royce fan. Love Royce. He just doesn't hold back. He says it exactly the way he feels.
So Royce White also declared. Do we want to watch?
This week I made the announcement. I'm transgender. I'm a woman. I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. I mean, I think I'd be unstoppable, but I'm a team first guy. I'm a pass first kind of player. I do the little things. I led my team in all 5 major stat categories at Iowa State University. So I do a little bit of everything. I'll do whatever the coach needs me to do. I'll do whatever the girls need me to do. I think the WNBA could come out and make a definitive statement about guys with a pair of balls playing in the women's association. But
Amen.
Hey, that'd be probably too much like right. So, and I don't want to be discriminated against. No, I want fair treatment. I'm a black, I'm a young black, hopefully United States senator. That would like a fair chance to participate as a sometimes identifying as a transgender woman athlete.
What's up?
How many points do you think Royce is 6'8"? He trains MMA. He's a physical guy. How many points do you think he would average a game?
Not as many as Caitlin.
I would say more. You're being serious?
I am.
I think Caitlin,
Just because she's a great scorer.
she's a great shooter.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say Royce decides I'm going to take it personal and lock her down. Do you think he could maybe cut into that scoring?
No, because
You don't think so?
most of her scoring comes from outside the arc.
Well, he can go outside.
Sure.
Come on. I'm saying if he locks her down, he could lock down any player in the WNBA. This is ridiculous.
Look,
we're even talking about this.
Well, so applying it to Caitlin makes it a little different, but everybody else, and maybe Asia Wilson, maybe a couple of the really good guards in the league, could contend with him, get around him, and pass the ball, draw him out of the paint, and be effective. However, his team, any team with him on it, would be likely the most dominant team in the WNBA.
You say likely?
Well, likely.
He will score if they put the ball down into him, because he's obviously going to play the post.
Yeah.
He's going to play wherever he wants,
Right.
because none of them are going to be fast enough to
Sure.
stop him. He can shoot over any of them.
Right.
But let's just assume he goes down into the post. I say he averages a quintuple double.
I agree. I
For
think he'd be the Shaq of the WNBA.
Of the ladies. This
Yeah.
is, I mean, listen,
It's a
I love that
ridiculous
these guys are doing
Me
this.
too.
And I hope the WNBA, well, they've already came out and said, we're not going to turn this into a political, sideshow and all that. You did that.
Well, we already have a league of the top performers in basketball, and it's called the NBA. So if you qualify for an open league and you want to play with the best of the best, the NBA is available for you.
Well, but
The
how come-
WNBA has a W in front of it for a reason.
Right. What's that W for?
It stands for women's.
That's right.
Right. It's not, we include everybody.
Mm-mm.
It's women's. And it's unfair to the women of the WNBA to allow men to compete at an athletic thing. Now, when we come across the board, are men better than women at certain things? Are men and women equal at certain things? Across the board, women are equal in a lot of things.
You see him shaking his fucking head no, and I'm looking at
Not
you
equal
doing
at anything.
They're not better in anything.
And real quick, I just want to do a stat real quick. Royce White, like you said, is 6'8".
Yeah.
The average height in the WNBA is 6 feet 0.79 inches.
Yeah.
The average height. The average center height is 6 feet 4 inches. Brittany Griner 6'9". Royce White is a lot stronger than Brittany Griner.
He would crush Brittany Griner.
I've seen Brittany Griner shirtless. She might be a dude.
The only problem I have with Royce White is he didn't stay in the NBA because he couldn't travel. So the WNBA is the same thing.
Well,
He couldn't get on a plane
There's a political thing with him not being in the NBA. He opted out.
because he couldn't fly. He was scared to fly, and they wouldn't give him a bus, and so that's why he didn't go to the
he belongs
NBA.
in the WNBA.
I mean, kind of. That's why it was a little weird with him jumping on, trying to
being the
be
one.
like the masculine one. But I still agree. I mean, I think it's ridiculous.
let's-
And I've been saying this, that the WNBA doesn't know what they're doing. They're
know what
opening
they're
up
doing.
a can of worms. And with all this talk the last few weeks, and I think some of the media was fishing those questions to the coaches and some of the players to give responses like this.
Knowing this was coming.
Yeah. Can we put some perspective to this? Can you play the I have it in there, the Julie Tater video. This is I'm assuming I'm saying her name or his last name wrong. Fuck, calling this guy a girl. He plays in the French league right now. This person, if you so, okay, that's a dude, and he's averaging 21 and 20. He's 6'3". He's torching these women, right? And this is a 6'3" dude who never played in the NBA, who is a subpar male athlete.
So this person is declared trans, I assume?
Oh, it's open over there.
Okay.
Yeah, they know exactly what he is. And they're like, hooray. But that's what I'm saying. This is a subpar male athlete, 6'3", averaging 21 and 20. So now give Royce White the ball against what he just told us at 6 foot to 6'4" tops. And maybe you run into Brittany Griner, and that is literally not going to stop him at all.
No. The only person that would even contend with him is Asia. And
That's
Payne.
not even. It's not close.
It's not.
When we say contend, we mean in a team structure. She gets a great pass, and she happens to be open.
No, I
open.
mean, she could, if he was to back her down in the paint, she's got the size and
Wrong
strength. She'd be
answer.
able to
Wrong.
hang for a while.
Wrong.
I mean, women's sports want equality, right?
Yeah.
So why not do like they do co-ed leagues and have one male on each team?
That would be the right answer.
If we're declaring this openly and we structure it that way, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But that's not what it is.
Because of the verbiage in the WNBA, and we accept things that might have balls, that identify as having balls, you're opening the floodgate for shit like this. And that's the problem. And I hope that Enes Kanter and Royce White are, facing off in the WNBA championship next year.
Let me just say that what you propose, Quan, is the best answer I've heard so far, other than just cutting off the
Balls?
folks that have had something cut off. But
I want a transgender league.
But if you cut your balls off, like you are a little B word, but you still have the strength of a man.
yes,
You don't have the mind of a man, but you still have the strength
you
of
do.
a man.
Your structure, your tendons, your muscles, everything is
It's not gonna
different
change.
from the word go.
Yeah.
I wanna put Royce White in a game against Asia Wilson, and just so you can cry, because if they played to 21, it would be like 21
to 0.
exactly. Thank you.
you think with Asia?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
She's
I'm
the
not-
best one. She's
Yes.
the best female player by far.
Here, let me
She's
give
not-
perspective. Ready? I posted this shit online, and I posted the match. The guy's last name was Brash. Herman Brash. We'll just call him Herman.
Okay.
He was a German tennis player ranked like a 200 something.
Okay.
All right. At the time, at their peak performance of their physical nature, Serena and Venus decided, okay, we'll play a guy. Right. They both played this guy. This guy smoked cigarettes and drank beer during and before the match. He beat Serena 6-1 and beat Venus 6-2 back to back.
Damn.
He was ranked outside the 200. And if you look at the video of her talking about it later, she's, I'd never want to play a man again. It's just different. Like they're just different. They move different.
The ball comes 30 miles an hour faster.
And listen, I'm not bashing women. People take this out of context. I'm the guy that stands in the middle and says, let the women compete against each other.
Absolutely.
I don't want to watch a guy pummel some broad.
We are in the same camp.
And that's the dumb take, right? Like people think you're attacking women, but we're actually protecting women because we want women to play against women.
Title IX,
and it doesn't make any sense.
Was meant to create this, and now I'm going to be specific. It's Democrats who are calling for this with the Me Too movement and this bullshit. Me Too has turned into Him Too, and it's garbage. If we don't have, just imagine you have a daughter and she's worked for 15 years of her young life to go to the Olympics. And she loses it like they did to that male boxer dude.
We had this conversation via social media, you and I.
Right. Just imagine that
person was not born a male.
Yes. They went and did the what's the test they do for the chromosomal test?
Yes.
Male.
Well, mixed. Like me, XXY. I don't know what her.
So then go get your gold. So go beat some women up and go get your gold medal.
Well, I do think that particular person having that different chromosome makeup should not be allowed to compete in
correct. Did you see the physical nature of that person?
Well, that person didn't end up winning the gold, did they?
Yes, they did.
The boxer?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and do the eye test. You just do the eye test, and you're like, something's not right here.
Sure.
And that's what I mean. Like, there's a physical difference from even the worst male athletes, and that's why these guys want to go do this. Not Kanter and not Royce White.
You know, it's interesting. I don't know what possessed me to do this. This was before any of this started. I was trying to put together some great publicity things in Las Vegas, and of course, we have the Aces here, right?
Mm-hmm.
The greatest WNBA team, franchise, whatever. And I was like, it'd be great to have them play a men's team in town. Maybe Aces versus UNLV. So I asked AI if the Aces were to play the UNLV. They were like, "What? Not even close. The Rebels will run them off the court." I was like, "All right, how about like maybe Gorman?" Like, "Oh no, Gorman will run off the court too."
The court.
I'm like, "Okay, how about middle school? Like, middle school is about the talent level. Middle school men,
physical nature of it,
right?
Yeah.
Middle school men, and their game is about equivalent to the top WNBA teams."
So I'll step outside the WNBA and I'll say that they're going to have better shooters, right? You look at someone like Caitlin Clark, and I like the girls' game for the fact that there's not an overwhelming physical nature, so these skill sets matter.
Yeah.
They're not all that skilled, but they have to learn to shoot a little better. The ball's a little smaller. You know what I mean? So it's a different game, but when we take that and we throw a guy in the mix, it's just fucks everything up. It's not
clearly.
Yeah. I was talking shit to someone one time, and I said, let the winner of the WNBA play the McDonald's High School All-Americans, and you will see exactly how ugly that is.
That would be, according to AI, that would be awful.
No, it would be a blowout.
You need the McDonald's All-Americans middle school team.
Yeah.
And there's Royce leaning into
looking good.
His draft day look.
Yeah, looking good.
So, I mean, I'm glad we're talking about this because it's a big deal, but we might want to segue into the racial side of the WNBA and what's happening.
The muggings.
With a mugging that took place, a airborne armbar chokehold that was placed on a player based on the picture. I didn't see it happen live, so I don't know what it actually looked like live.
I didn't see it live. I saw it on video after the fact.
They reviewed it. I didn't see it on video either. I just saw the still picture.
It was exactly what it should have been. I don't have a problem with her. Like, listen, every player that does that commits that foul.
Yeah.
Headhunts, smacks you in the face. Clear violation. And according to the WNBA guidelines, that was not a play on the ball. It is a flagrant foul.
It was ruled a flagrant foul. Flagrant 1.
Yep.
They reviewed it, upgraded it to a flagrant 2, and ejected her from
100% the right call. The problem I'm having is afterwards, she posts white privilege.
Right.
That's white privilege. You just fucking mugged her for whatever your motivation was. Let's take it at face value, okay? She was trying to make a play on the ball. She fucked up, and she hit her in the head. That happens. I believe that.
Yep.
I also believe that Caitlin Clark is a target. It's been shown over time now.
Sure.
There's a whole body of it, you know? So when you jumped on and said white privilege, she got a call because of white privilege. That's when you lost me. I'm like, you should have just been quiet and took your foul and said, yeah, my bad. That would have been the right thing to do. But her motivation to me was shown after the fact.
I was going to ask you, I don't know what the motivating factor is for that. You've been a player in this league for X amount of time. You played college ball, clearly. You know what the rules are. You know what you did, what it looked like on TV after you did that. Why go to social media
What do you mean?
and
Why.
Ryan Clark?
You go to social media because you want the likes, you want the clout. I mean, they're clout chasing.
And that, it makes sense because I didn't know Dejanay.
That's correct. Yeah, that's her name.
What's her last name?
Carrington.
Or know the name before the white privilege post.
So think about it. She gets hit with this foul. There's not going to be any fines involved, right? Can we assume?
I don't know if they get fined for that or not, but I'm guessing she should be fined for the accusation of racism in the league.
Well, I don't know that they will because the league is so, approving of this type of behavior. They don't punish it. The fact that you don't punish things is why things stay the way they are.
Like the NFL with Jackson Dart.
Right. What did he do again?
Nothing.
That's correct.
Apparently.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, this is an on-court offense.
Yeah.
Right? You're referring to Jackson Dart going to see the greatest president in the world?
The offense took place off the court.
Correct.
Yeah, that we're talking
You can't punish people for you can, but you can't for like social gatherings like that. It'd be kind of hard to justify punishing someone for supporting the world's greatest president. Greatest.
You saying since
ever.
George Washington.
Well, George still has the edge in that race, but
okay.
This is so good now. I've been doing so much more reading on that.
If we're going to get into that, I cannot wait to hear what you have to say on the matter. I still dislike Trump completely, but I'm riding with you on and obviously the concept of the American system, although they are not saying it publicly. J.D. Vance is now starting to use the words American system publicly for the very first time.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate the narrow view that we've had on this and tracking it on this war. Every single move can be explained by the American system conversation, which is extremely fun to be able to tell people, if you looked at this through the other lens and people it takes a long time to get people there.
I don't want to go. I want to finish up on the Dejanay and because there's a Caitlin Clark part of this as well. However, I just want to tell everybody the midterms are not going to be what they're telling you. And the reason they're telling you is because they know it's not going to be that. Okay. And when the midterms are over, the gloves are fucking coming off and you're going to see some shit move like you've never seen it move before. That's all. I promise. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this because all I do is really study this now, and occasionally I work. But this is what I do. And I just know what's coming and it's going to be absolutely fucking fantastic. This is, for complaining for over a decade about the direction of things, getting into arguments with you, getting into fights with everyone about it, and now watching it all come to fruition, it's very rewarding, I must say. But anyways, did you see the Caitlin Clark technical foul?
I did not. Know nothing about it.
Did you see that, Quan? So she comes down. She's drives right, gets hit, falls, hits the referee.
Oh, no, I did see this.
Okay.
She bumps into the referee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Allegedly didn't say a word. I looked a few times. I didn't see her say anything. Quan, did you see her say anything?
It looked like she said something.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't see necessarily her say anything. I wasn't looking for that, but she definitely said something. She said something all the time. She talks all the time.
She said something and turned back and said something else.
She's never not talking.
Away.
But
I don't know if it was directed at the ref.
Do we think she hit
talking.
the ref on purpose?
No, definitely not.
I don't either. And she called the tech on her, and that tech actually put her over the limit for how many techs she can have, and it caused her to go into suspension right before she goes to New York.
Wow.
So I found that to be odd.
It got rescinded.
Did they rescind it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I haven't seen that part.
Yeah.
Do you know why I got rescinded?
Because she
white.
Didn't really hit the ref.
White privilege. It's just white privilege. That's the only reason. Yeah.
No, it looked completely unintentional. One thing I was concerned about is that she said something to the ref like, I can't believe you didn't call that, or something along those lines, which a lot of times will trigger a tech. I know it does in the NFL. I'm not sure what that looks like.
Yeah.
I know it does in the NBA.
Well, my stance on the WNBA is, and I'm going to do broad strokes. I'm sure I'm not speaking for Everyone there. It's one of the most racist organizations on the planet. The only place I think that is more racist would be maybe a whiskey refinery up in the mountains of Arkansas, surrounded by a bunch of guys named Cletus. They might be more racist than the WNBA.
I don't know if the WNBA is racist. It's more of white straight women that they're racist or prejudice against.
What's
because
the difference
there's been
between prejudice and racist?
But there's been white women in the WNBA for a long time, and if they're Sue Bird, she's one of the most loved. Diana Taurasi, she's considered the GOAT. Even the girl from UConn, Paige Beckers, she's not hated.
We live in a
because
different
they all have
now.
they all have female partners.
So let me
It's
say this.
always been, and this came out 10 years ago, that there was a player saying we get harassed in the locker room for being straight because 90% of the WNBA is gay.
Yeah. I believe that. I believe there's an element of that. But I also think we live in a different climate right now. What Trump has done when he came in and the way he's changing everything and the way the media has portrayed anyone who is white, who is not gay or leftist, everyone who is white or conservative is a racist individual. So you've got that in the mix as well. So I think there's a couple variables. I think you're right about the gay thing. But nowadays, if you have a position that is not completely in servitude to the Marxist organization, you are a racist. I've been called
labeled one.
Yeah, I mean the word racist almost has no meaning anymore. I mean,
until somebody calls you one.
Yeah, I don't. You know how many times I've been called that? I don't care. I'm like, yeah, there is that take. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
If you voted for Trump, you get called that all the time, no matter what color you are.
Oh, I've been
I had black friends that were voting for Trump, and they're like, we can't say anything to our friends.
Oh, I
because
know.
of how we're gonna get treated.
I have black friends, and they've said this shit to me, and I say, why don't you say that on fucking social media instead of telling me? Well, I don't want, it's the same thing.
Am I like the one black person who admits they voted for Trump? Reluctantly.
There's some people that do.
There are some that do, but but
in your orbit.
Yeah.
But you're Nazi, you're MAGA, you're racist. It's one of those three or all those three at the same time.
I blame the Democratic Party for putting up Kamala Harris.
The Democratic Party, now that we're kind of getting into that, they're reaping what they've sowed. Because they've pushed this agenda so much, this Marxist identity politics agenda, we've now moved the goalposts over into a communist, the DSA. They're saying it's socialism. It's not the same. It is the same. It is the entry drug, the gateway drug to full communism.
Yes.
And that's where we're headed. But now they're upset because they're losing ground inside of their own party.
Right. Because the extremists, there is a split in both parties. You've got the household Democrats that are not necessarily socialist or communist, that were the regular left before.
But you're talking about voter base.
Well, even politicians.
No. I'm just going to disagree with you from the political standpoint. You've got a uniparty with a leftist agenda, not communist Marxist, not socialist. These people will still, they're still voting for Israel to do things. They're still on board with all that.
Well, when you say uniparty, you mean the Republicans and Democrats together.
At the top, yes. Yeah, I'm saying that there's a uniparty that is governed by the banking cartel, all the things that I know and and we've talked about Trump is fighting.
Yes.
Behind the scenes.
Yes.
So that party doesn't want to lose control. They want to come across as progressive, but they're really more like neocons.
But they're not socialists.
They're not socialists.
Right.
But now, because they've feigned, look, we tickled the asshole of socialism.
Sure.
So now they've created the problem. And through the identity politics like we're seeing in the WNBA and the congressmen and senators that have taken the knee and wore the African thing and played all the games.
God, that was hilarious.
You're right. And they played the game too close to the edge. And now they've created their own opposition in their own party.
Right.
Yeah. So and people are like, aren't you worried about how that's going to pan out? So let me ask you, do you really fucking think America is going to vote a communist in office? I don't care about these pockets where there's an internal civil war in the Democrat Party. I know what that is.
I don't think, unless it was a ultra popular actor or celebrity of some sort that was running on a socialist platform, no, I don't.
I don't think that's even going to work.
If Taylor Swift ran for president as a socialist, she'd win.
I would eat a 45 caliber lead pill. If
some of us are going to have to,
we as if we have gone so far as to vote for Taylor Swift. I don't care what party she said. If she came out tomorrow and said I'm conservative, I would just be like, I don't care what you are. I cannot vote for you no matter what. You're Taylor Swift. You know less about politics than I know about singing on stage.
Well, I mean, some people probably said that about Ronald Reagan.
No. Have you Taylor Swift? The only video that she's ever done that matters to me was when she had a long booger hanging out of her nose and she was walking on stage. This is her relevance to me.
But regardless of her relevance, her fandom is what it is. And what I'm saying to you is the only way America would vote that in is it was a uber popular person that ran on that ticket and that platform.
We're in a different place now, and the threat of communism isn't just a rumor now; it's a thing.
I know, but people aren't scared of communism the way they were in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I think that's where we're disagreeing. You think that because you're being shown pockets of it. Right inside
and
of this,
nobody's pushing back but us.
But it's in the internal places like Detroit. Detroit will vote for Somalis. They'll vote for anybody.
Sure.
Right. They've got a large Muslim, the Red Green Alliance of communism and Islam. So that gets thrown on every channel. Look how great this is. In reality, that's not winning a national election. Not even close.
I agree. And like I said, the only way a socialist would win is if it was someone that was uber popular, that they were going to just vote because of the popularity.
Who's uber popular that would equate to a national? From all you look at a map, right? And besides the pockets of big cities, everything's red.
Yeah,
right. There are no blue states. There are blue cities.
Sure.
So
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is not. It is not. It's just not. Boston is. Okay. A huge difference.
And it makes up almost the entire state.
I got it. No, I got it. But what I'm saying is to you, these city centers like Las Vegas, right? Or like Los Angeles, New York. You go outside anywhere else, anywhere in that state, it is not blue. And you're not going to win an election. I don't care how popular, uber popular you are, if there is even a hint of communism, because now they're marketing it.
Here's the thing. I hope you're right.
I am right.
But you asked who could, and I'm telling you, someone like Taylor, if Obama was allowed to run again, Obama could win.
Obama would lose. When I tell you Obama would lose, he would lose in a landslide. People are pissed about because of
people
Obama.
People that you talk to are pissed.
No. Look at the voting. We got to Trump because of Obama, not Biden.
Sure.
Okay. Nothing's going to change. We aren't at the midterms yet.
We got the Trump because he ran against Hillary.
Yeah. But he wasn't running really against Hillary. He was running against the legacy of the Democrats.
He was running against Hillary, and had he been running against any other respectable politician, he would have lost.
No. Democrats had burned all those bridges by that point.
That's where I disagree. I mean, look how close the race was in the first place.
What do you mean? The one where the vote count's all fucked up and it's fraud?
Right.
See, so a big element of that is not going to be in play this time. Do you understand?
We hope.
No, I know. He didn't go into Venezuela to take over Smartmatic, to get all the information on these machines, to put all of these implementations in place, and he's gonna the SAVE Act is gonna go through.
I think you're right.
So when all of this is said and done,
which means I probably won't be able to vote.
Well, because you're XX.
No, XXY. Let's be clear.
Just wanted to say it.
Because I have to get a new passport because my real ID. Never got a real ID, so and it takes too long to get an appointment between now and the election.
Yeah,
the midterms.
I have a real ID. Guess who's going to vote?
Well, thankfully you will. You have to represent us both. Vote twice.
I should say, yeah. I'd like to vote twice, but that's probably illegal, and that would make me a Democrat.
But listen,
the fact of the matter is, let's say they only cut back 30% of the fraud. That's still a big piece. That's a big chunk.
It would absolutely sway the election one way or the other. Yeah. They've all been so close as of late.
Who do you think they're going to run as president?
For the left or the Democrats?
So do you see? Remember what they did to Bernie?
It's going to be Newsom, regardless of what we think and how bad he is. He is going to be the Democratic representative for 2028.
I agree with you. So you agree with me based on the track record.
Or Mondami. That may be the only other person that might.
Well, he's not going to be eligible for this election. Maybe. Yeah,
he will be 35, right?
I meant because of his term. You're saying he's just going to walk away from New York to
they
run?
all do. Yeah, they walk away from.
Mom Donnie has the same thing going on that Newsom has. He's got that slimy, I'm a used car salesman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
One's just Muslim and a communist. The other one would become a communist if you need him to be.
Sure.
But they're the same guy.
Right.
I don't see them winning, either of them, in a big election. And you have
Definitely not.
No. So what do you think about AOC?
Besides her looks,
Well, I mean, she's not bad looking.
I know. I'm a fan.
But I'm just saying, as a candidate,
she's a Democrat progressive. I'm not okay with it. Just
when you say progressive, do you mean communist?
partly, but she is what I think wants to represent what a good version of socialism could be. It just can't happen. Actually,
What is partly and what is the good version? So if I
So a good
I
version-
stuck this finger up your ass only to the first knuckle, is it partly in your ass or is it in your ass?
both.
It's in your ass. Communism is communism.
Sure.
We say progressive and we say partly, but she's a communist.
Well, again, do you think she actually is a communist too?
I think she's an empty glass and they will fill her up. I think she's never been a real candidate in any sense of the word. And I think she's just going to be told what to do. And I think the people that run her are communists.
You know what's interesting? Because I think that her capability to debate and her talking points are way better than Kamala was.
Well, what the fuck? That's the lowest bar you could.
Well, I mean, but she got the Democratic nomination
Yeah, but
2 years ago. So
and the point is, their best socialist, their best guy was Bernie Sanders.
For sure.
And twice they told him, it doesn't matter if you can win a primary here, pal.
right,
Go back to your lake house, jump in your Audi, and fuck off.
right.
They're not gonna let. Right. So that's this is great. There's an
They
internal
being
conflict.
the Democrats.
The Democrats.
Yeah.
The Democrats, the system, you have to understand that they are beholden to the system.
Mm-hmm.
And right now you have this offshoot of the system, which they don't have control of.
Right.
They're not going to let that go.
There's a term that's coming up. They're calling them insurgents, and within the people who are running against incumbents that are not Democrat Party backed, but running as Democrats.
Yeah. There's a movement in the youth, right? It's the youth. And I think something we should do, we as Americans, period. We got to stop calling the youth. We got to stop making fun of them for thinking they want something for free and all that. Part of the fight that Trump is fighting, and you know this because we've looked at this in depth, is the monetary system that has failed.
Yep.
That has been failing for quite some time. Now, these communist hags, like this jolly good ginger fat fuck, you got to see this guy. He's like a cartoon of Karl Marx with bad teeth. But anyways, with that said, we can't be mad at them because school has given them nothing but debt. We can't get mad at them because housing prices are super high because everything is high.
Sure. We've created a foundation that they have no choice but to go alternate than what we
Right. So these guys come in and they say, look, I promise you a bunch of free things. I can't get mad at you for that, but you have to understand. It won't be free. The things aren't the things. And that path is not the path. The path that Trump is doing to clean up the monetary system is the path. And when he gets done with that, I think you're going to see gas prices like you've never seen before. And this may even be around midterms because they need it.
There is, maybe I didn't include it. So there was a great picture of an idea that says, if you like socialism, we will trade you with a person who likes capitalism from Cuba.
Oh,
and you can go live in Cuba with socialism, and the capitalist who wants to come to America can come to America. You guys can trade citizenship.
I listened to a podcast today, and I love this podcast, and I think that it's Natalie and it's Redacted. Have you listened to Redacted?
I have not.
Natalie and Clayton.
I'm going to have to mark that down.
Great podcast,
list.
but
Okay.
Today they could not have been more wrong.
Okay.
They had on, I think it's Dan Davis, Colonel Dan Davis. There's a reason they got rid of these woke military guys. He's in there saying that we have no business going into Cuba. There is nothing wrong with Cuba at all. There's no reason to go in there whatsoever, as if they weren't part of the leadership in Venezuela, as if there wasn't 32 of them killed in the room. Cuba is a hub for intel and spying on this country, and that's a fact. The Venceremos were the Brigadistas. Karen Bass was part of that program.
No way.
I swear to God, Karen Bass made multiple trips to Cuba. She is part of the agenda that puts, and it's written right in their edict, that they are looking to infiltrate the American system, and Karen Bass is a product of that system of Cuba. Cuba is a direct threat to everything here. So Trump's going to go in there and clean it out. And they're talking about, this guy says, well, I don't think that's going to be the same as Venezuela. Venezuela was far more capable than Cuba. I could take you and Quan down there, some broomsticks, and we could beat the shit out of people and bribe them with sandwiches.
I mean, they're on their last leg.
And then he turns around and says in the next breath, well, they can't even keep the lights on. So which is it, Colonel Davis? They can't keep the fucking lights on, or they're too tough to beat. Which you can't have both.
How would Cuba be too tough to beat?
That's what he said. He was implying that. He wasn't giving specific because he can't do that.
They're too tough to beat if they got the traditional Russian and Iranian backing. That
they don't have that.
Right.
They don't, and I don't care if they do. You've watched already. You've watched in real time as all of the tech from China has fallen to shit.
So that gives me a little bit of a segue, if you're ready to go here, about the losses that Trump's taking in the public right now over a lot of things that he's got going on: the Iranian war, the sanctions to Russia, obviously the ballroom stall. Those three things are somewhat major. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell our listeners why those things really don't matter right now, that they're just kind of a setup for what's about to take place.
Well, I think, so we'll do the ballroom. The ballroom is really more about security for the White House.
Okay.
You're going to have a drone set up there. You're going to have a secure place for them to have things. And I forget where it was at that hotel. That guy tried to run through the checkpoint, and
probably staged by Trump.
I'm going to be honest. It felt that way because who the fuck runs through a checkpoint with a rifle?
Right.
I'm just going to hurry and run as if no one was going to shoot you.
Like, that's not the right weapon to do that with.
You're either the dumbest person in the world, or it's set up as a stunt.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know. It got very quiet, so I don't know if he was ushered back into the world somewhere, or put in prison. I really don't know. But the ballroom thing is not really a thing, and it's being challenged in court. Every president has made changes to the White House at their leisure, and this will be held up. It's neither here nor there. The focus is the banking cartel. It's Venezuela.
Well, for me,
Cuba.
it was not that the ballroom was blocked. It's who blocked it. It's the Senate.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the L I'm talking about. His Republican Senate is not going along with his wishes.
So specifically to that point, this Republican Senate, we talked about a uniparty.
Yeah. Before you move on, that same Republican Senate also has approved and levied sanctions on Russia, when we know that Trump is trying to do some deals with Russia to help them with their sovereignty, so we can still execute our plan. So go ahead.
So I'll give a couple takes on that. So you can either have a bunch of rhinos in there who are not cooperating, like John Thune. But I will also tell you that John Thune, while he has not approved anything Trump wanted, all of the sudden they have approved 76 of Trump's appointees into the bureaucracy. It kind of feels to me like they're sitting and waiting and playing this game and saying, look, we're not going to approve of him. We don't like him. And then all of a sudden, there's a mad rush for everything he's wanted to get approved. I also think in that same term, in that same method, you're going to see the SAVE Act push through.
So what do you think? They're voting against Trump right now to claim they're not with Trump for the midterms so they can re-get their seat and then go along with him to get everything else passed?
I do think there's some gamesmanship going on for sure. Because if it's overt and open, everyone knows what you're doing, and Trump's real good at showing you this hand while hiding this one. And
you use the term rhino. For those who don't know, rhino stands for Republican in name only. However, Trump is the anti-establishment guy and not really necessarily a Republican anyway. So are they rhino, or are they really Republicans, part of the uniparty, and that might be the issue?
Potentially there is that issue, but many of those have been primaried out. I think there was like eight people. I should know these names, but recently some of them were removed. Every one of them that Trump went against, I think all but one was removed.
Yeah, they were primaried.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got all the AIPAC money coming in to support them.
Listen,
There's a lot of, we got to make allowances for things that happen that we don't like with Trump to be okay with Trump. So that's the thing that scares me.
Well, the thing with AIPAC money, and I hate AIPAC money, but I also know that AIPAC money is American money, right? It's just
right,
a
but it's
circle.
it's redirecting our tax dollars through Israel back to
someone's pocket.
Some Republican specific, in this particular instance, for this conversation, to help buy a seat or to remove the incumbent from having an opportunity to win because they've been primaried.
Yeah. That's the nature of politics. I don't want AIPAC involved. You know my stance on Israel. I think they're actually an enemy to us, and I think Trump knows they're an enemy to us. Right now, they're the enemy of my enemy. So I think there's a matter of convenience there. People don't like that. I don't even know if I like it, but you can either be good at playing the game of politics or you can get run over by it.
Sure.
And he's very good at it.
So there's a few other things that are dancing around right now in the public. We've got the potential rise of a legitimate major third-party run.
Yeah.
With Tucker Carlson.
Rumors of it.
It's not rumored. Joe Kent's come out specifically and said, we don't know exactly how we're going to move, but we have a movement of these people and a ton of people behind us. We don't know if we'll go as an insurgent through a party or we will start our own, because starting our own is going to take $20 to $30 million to get on every ticket. To have an opportunity, we're going to have to go after the presidency first and then go top down to get to the rest of the seats. It's better if we go through a party and then take over that party. I think that if I was them, they'd go Libertarian or Independent American Party, because all of them are registered on all tickets and they don't really have a stake in.
Libertarians, and we can discuss this another time, but libertarians are actually Marxist light.
I thought they're supposed to be constitutionalists.
They are. So they make that claim, but if you get into their real ideology and into how they started, they actually started leaning that way. I'm not going to say that they're the same, but a lot of their founding principles are actually socialist principles.
Okay. I don't see that in all their talking points now.
No, well, that's a deeper conversation. You and I can have that, and I'll be happy to show it to you, and you can draw your own conclusions, but they really sincerely draw some of their philosophy from those.
Well, then the IAP is supposedly super far right?
Yeah, I mean...
But the point is, it doesn't matter what their philosophies are.
Yeah.
Republicans' philosophy are what they are, and Trump's the president, shitting on all of them, right? So
according to them, yeah.
Right. So you don't have to toe their line to win their nomination. You just have to be registered as one and then win the votes.
I have a theory on this, and I've talked about this with you. Remember when I said Kent and
Gabbard.
Leaving.
Yeah.
And I said that I feel like this is a movement that was predetermined. Their usefulness in that particular phase of this is done.
Yeah.
So how do you consolidate the people that you're losing, the youth and stuff like that, who believes that Trump is the devil, incarnate? Right. You create inside of the party an option for the party. Right. And then who do you bring out as the new face of that? A younger guy who debates well, who translates, and when it's time to have this discussion, he'll be the face of this. He's getting the handoff, and that's JD.
Sure, he's a great debater.
I actually think he's a great candidate,
I
legitimate, not just because of politics. I think he's legitimately a good candidate.
I think so too. I don't know enough about his backstory, but everything that he has done and said publicly, I am a fan of. JD Vance is probably my favorite political person right now, even more so than RFK Jr.
So here's my personal take on this, and I could be wrong, and this is just the way I'm reading this. I do not personally believe that Tucker Carlson, that Joe Kent, Tulsi Gabbard, and Thomas Massey, and all of these people.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yep. I believe this is another phase to generate where it gives the perception, look, we're breaking away from Trump. He's wrong and he's bad.
Sure.
And then the other side of this is I can go vote communist. It's not gonna track well. It's gonna track well amongst young, radical Democrats.
Well, you and I talked about this a few episodes ago, maybe even 10 episodes ago when it first happened.
Yeah.
That it would be really smart of them to take over the Democratic Party.
Right.
And the Democrat nomination.
I think that's what this is.
Because that ends up being you get one or the other, but you still get red in the White House.
Yeah, I'm not changing
More
anything.
importantly, conservative in the White House. That's what I care about.
Well, you get conservative values, but they're going to dress it up like it's progressive, like actually progressive and not communist.
Well, their thing is conservative values following Trump's policy that he promised in campaign, which is no forever wars. And those things, and so that's what their talking points currently are.
But the real side of the things that they just won't understand is that someone like Trump had to come in and take the fucking gloves off.
You're right,
and he knows it. He's 80. He's saying, "You guys, let's get this thing organized because I'm going to shatter what's over there, okay? And it's going to cause a problem with what's left over here in this MAGA movement."
Yeah,
but MAGA is loyal. They'll move right over to JD. In a heartbeat.
Sure.
So now it's up to Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all of these guys to create this synergy for this new party.
Sure.
That's what I believe is happening. I don't think these people have walked away from Trump. I think they're giving the appearance to do that. They're creating the division to say it's okay for you guys to come to us now.
Yeah, they're going to have to eat a lot of crow to come
They're
back
already
to
doing
Trump.
it. Do you know who Tucker had on today and did the most loving interview with this guy I've ever heard?
Hassan Piker?
Hunter Biden.
A lot of people are doing a lot of great things with Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
He's kind of, Candace had him on and did a great interview too.
I think, and when we say that group, I think Candace is part of that group. That core of people who helped put Trump in office, who were the reason
Who actually put Trump in office.
Actually, you're right. That was the core. I don't believe for 1 second they're not read into this to some degree.
I don't know. It would be one hell of a move to talk shit publicly about all of them, call them low IQ, stupid, and ugly, saying that Candace
just pushes people that way.
Doesn't even stack up to Brigitte Macron.
But see how ridiculous that sounds? Or do you just saying it right now? Do you go? But that's fucking ridiculous.
But that's Trump. Everything he says is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous by design.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of, if
this
not
art of the deal play.
Well, he's one of the most calculated tacticians I've ever seen, and I'm just speaking from a perspective of look at my track record. If you know me, you know I call these shots, and about 95% of the time I'm on it. I don't see the break. I see the appearance of a break.
Well, I know Candace is broken from Trump 100% and won't return because of how he has not treated the Charlie Kirk assassination case. She's done.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I accept that you accept that.
Yeah.
How close would you say, from your understanding, was Charlie Kirk and Trump?
I would say extremely close.
That's right. So
Charlie perceived them to be extremely close.
I think Charlie and him were very close. I think it's integral. And again, I don't know what happened with Charlie Kirk. For the record, he was assassinated.
He yelled, "We can't go to war with Iran," in the White House.
Yeah.
Is what happened to Charlie Kirk.
I don't disagree. But I don't want to go into the conspiratorial side of what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Sure.
I just don't think that the relationship that Kirk and Trump had ever failed. I think it only got stronger. I think this is a lot of theater. You're in the most crucial time of American history since the George Washington days. We are reinventing what this country will be moving forward.
I agree with you and hope you're right, because if we're wrong, we are fucked.
Well, just be objective. Yeah. And I asked you this before. Sit in your quiet time when you're not touching yourself and talking about Magic Johnson. Okay? I know it's hard because you and Quan text each other naked pictures of Magic Johnson.
I don't know if that time exists.
Yeah. So try and create it. But what I'm saying to you is make it make sense. Dot the I's and cross the T's for yourself and say, why this? I told you months ago about Malacca, about Babo, I'm fucking up the name, the other straight, and now they're all coming into play.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Here's the next one. And
along with the Panama Canal that was already taken care of a while back.
Yeah, that was one of the first moves.
Yeah.
Do the Gibraltar. What's happening with that little country, Ceuta?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that part of Spain, I should say, that invasion. What happened there is Spain is being run by a Democrat socialist. communist.
Which is crazy in its own right, because Spain was one of the most Catholic countries next to Italy and conservative across the board.
Exactly. So now that strait has come into play, the Straits of Gibraltar.
Right.
All of this is a war for energy and control. None of this is going to end up being what they're telling you that it is. This is all theater. I think I'm just good at reading in between the lines because I spent so many years doing that. Like I said, this is the most transformative time in American history, and I can't even underline that hard enough. So the theater of Tucker, the theater of all this, listening to Tucker today, and here's you have to understand how people talk. There's patterns to how people talk. So listening to Tucker today with one of the worst human beings that ever walked the face of the earth, who has been prepped for these interviews and has presented himself very well. But Tucker, you can hear it in Tucker's voice when this maniac says Trump is everything that's wrong with America. He's the problem for this. He's the problem that. Tucker never goes too far. He goes, well, as much as I don't approve of what's being on, do we really think we need to say that he's this? He always walks that back. He never lets that go too far.
Because Tucker still considers Trump a friend, even though Trump has talked shit about him.
Right. They are still friends.
He still says it.
Yeah, Tucker's integral to this movement. Tucker's integral to the change that we're all going to be a part of. I am going way out on a limb here and saying you're going to see something with the rest of this administration, the change that's about to take place. I'm going on record today. Nothing like this has ever been done, and I think it takes a multifaceted team of individuals and multiple phases of them to do these. And I think all of those people...
Well, it has been done. It was just called the American Revolution.
Well, but I agree with you, but that's a less sophisticated version. Do we agree?
Sure. Yeah.
Just based on the time frame.
Right.
And you can say it based on relativity, it was as sophisticated for that time.
But it was based on a complete country need, and everyone was into it except for the expat British people that were living there and still claiming British legacy that they wanted to be part of.
Yeah, they didn't have. There was still a lot of British support here in America for that. There was only like 3% of people here that actually had the balls to pick up a weapon and fight.
Sure.
Thank God they did. But the fact of the matter is, this is a far more sophisticated enemy with much more tech and means. And I think this plan, when this plan is all said and done, and you'll see all of this group hug happen afterwards, I think it's going to be one of the greatest things ever to watch. I love it. Every day I get up and I read the tea leaves a little bit, and I'm like watching the pieces move, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in the history of ever.
So let me ask you this one question, because we've never really dialed into this. I've just accepted all of it as the American system because it makes sense that that's what they're moving to. But why the war in Iran to implement the American system? Why did we not just take back our own oil and Venezuela's oil and say, fuck you, I'm not pricing it as you say, I'm pricing it however they want. You can't tell me what to do. I'm America.
Because so that particular strait, 20-something% of oil, feeds all throughout the Asia and into China. Big thing is we talked about is you have to take away China's ability to manufacture cheap goods. So you have to take control of that strait in order to take control of the economics for China.
So do you think the primary reason for the war was to weaken China's ability?
One of the reasons.
Okay.
The other reason is to take away the control of the globalists, the London banking cartel that prices and moves all that oil.
You also had to break.
It gives them power.
So you had to break the financial element so that they couldn't support a major war against us.
The things that they do now. Okay. And that the IRGC that was put there, and the Israeli side of that was put in place by the same group, the Rothschilds. All of that has to be reeled in and taken into control. I think he's trying to work a deal with the IRGC so that he can now run the IRGC. He being Donald Trump, the American system.
Yeah. Hang on a second. So we think that when this is all said and done, Donald Trump will run the IRGC.
I think they're going to have to either coalesce to the situation or be destroyed. And you can listen. they say we're not going to have ground troops there. We're not going to have ground troops in mass. We're not going to put infantry there. We're not going to land tanks there. The logistics of it is retarded. The cliff walls, they're 2,000 feet high in the Straits of Hormuz. You're not landing people there. He says this so that people start to say, well, this is what we're doing, and pieces move around.
Sure.
Okay? But what we are going to do is have special forces, special operations leading like the Kurds and other incursions into there while we economically choke the life out of them. And to say it's not working is crazy.
Oh, the economic life has been choked out of them already for the most part. Like, they are fucking struggling over there.
Yeah, they're hurting bad. So they can either come on board, whatever's left of them, because part of their leadership's gone.
Sure.
Or they can continue to dig in, which I suspect they'll do. But I think ultimately none of that matters. They can either be part of something or we build around them. There are pipelines that are already being worked on. So I think that's part of the delay, right? Oh, we got a deal. We don't have a deal. Oh, we got a deal. He said it so many times. People are like, he keeps saying it because he's delaying
Yeah,
this.
there are 2 pipelines that were either corrected or finished during this time frame. That
More than likely, by the time this is all said and done, over 75% of what was already flowing through there will continue to flow through there through pipelines.
right.
So it becomes something where the Straits of Hormuz is almost
Irrelevant.
inconsequential.
Right.
So you do the workaround on it. It doesn't really matter if I take you down by economic measures or I'm smarter than you and I build around you. That's what's happening. One way or another, they've already lost. And just like I said, this is over. And everyone's like, yeah, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. They're still fighting. They are still fighting.
But it's over.
It's over.
Right.
But this is actually over.
Quan, how much time we got?
It's over.
Well, with that, I want to. Oh, that is your idol.
Oh, fuck you, pal.
This is the new star of the WNBA.
I'm going to tell you right now. Remember, let me say this. You said at your birthday party, I'm going to invite someone, and I'm responsible for that person, right? If that person shows up.
Yes.
I'm not naming the person. I'm going to tell you right now.
Like, why are we doing this on air?
Because I'm going to tell you. You see that shit right there?
That's how you're going to show up?
I'm not going to be responsible for me. You come to that party, and I'm going to put you in one of those dresses, sir. Absolutely.
Oh, gotcha.
You see?
That's where you're headed.
I'm going to get liquored up, and you're going in a dress, you evil man.
I don't know whose body that head went on, but
no, that looks like his body.
Yeah, was it Jake from State Farm? The original commercial was like, she sounds hideous.
This is desecration of one of the greatest basketball players that's ever played.
I agree. Hilarious though. Go C's. Well, Matt, great day. Lots of information got out there. We touched on a ton of topics and actually really drilled down on some stuff, and I think opened up some conversation that we probably will need to carry on next week, unless there's a whole bunch of crazy shit that happens in the public again. Just want to make sure that we know that people are talking about Medicare for all as a huge talking point in this election. That's the next big thing, which is socialism. But there's one more that I lost, and I wanted to bring it up. But with that, I want to say please like, please share, please subscribe. Tell a friend. If you enjoy our show, please tap in. Let us know on YouTube. Send us a message on Facebook. Catch us in our DMs. I am Derek. This is Matt. For Quan, thank you for rocking with us.
Thank you.